Tonight's DJ and TV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, and DJ and TV Insiders.
My Good Vibe DJ Tribe, and welcome to another episode of Disc Jockey News TV. Today I have special guest DJ, sorry, as I screw that up, it's Garret Friesen, aka JADJ. He has been DJing for almost 2 decades now as a producer as well. He is the co-owner of Truespin Records and owner and operator of Smash and Grab Records. As co-founder this year with his dream team, they are running their first year of Emotion Music Festival in St. Laurent, Manitoba. So if you're in the Winnipeg area, that's only about 45 minutes away and nice and close. Is going to be beautiful. Starts August 2nd. And so Garret, let's jump right into it. Can you tell us a little bit about your start in the industry up until where you are today?
I guess it would go back to like when I was younger in my teenage years, and my brother was bringing home these CDs all the time, and these like I guess they're old school soundtracks from like Spawn, and like I think the first one he brought back was Mortal Kombat, if anyone remembers that movie from a long back in the day. I had these like electronic remixes to them in the soundtrack, and he was just playing them all the time, and I'm starting bopping around to them, and I'm like, oh, these are so cool. So that kind of got me interested in electronic music, and then from there it turned into me searching out for record stores and to find out where I could like hear this music more often, because you go to like HMV or whoever the record store was, and they would have absolutely no selection, right? So you had no chance of finding anything good. So found a little record store here in town in Saskatoon called Playhouse Records. It was like the only one really, and we started crate digging and finding out about parties and things like that. So that was kind of the early days, and then that got me into going to shows and meeting people, and I guess the rest is history kind of thing of, promoting and throwing festivals and getting involved with just about anything electronic music based. You name it in this industry, and I'm probably got a hand in it. So
right on.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you're a man of many hats. You've got a lot of different things going on. Is there any, no, it's so true. Hey, nowadays the DJ is not just the music player. They tend to be doing a wide range of stuff in order to almost set themselves apart.
Yeah, you have to, yeah.
Can you tell us maybe one of the more surprising lessons you've learned in the industry?
Like from just like throwing parties, I mean, or from like DJing or producing, or, well, for producing wise, I guess I'll start with that, is you're not going to write a hit single right away. And it's going to take time for you to figure your stuff out. I mean, I've put out like 20 tracks or 30 tracks now, I don't know, but over the last couple of years, and as soon as one got on a chart, I was like, yeah, I made it, woo! And then all of a sudden you see how many people actually bought that to hit a chart. You'd be so surprised at, like, I don't want to throw any secrets out there, but anyone who's produced music and sold music knows that you sell 100 tunes and you're on a chart. It's not even like it's crazy, like when you see Backstreet Boys selling 1 million copies, or like that. Yeah. It's nothing like that in the electronic music, so it's a little crazy. So
that's a really interesting thing to point out, because I will notice a lot of like newer producers, they'll put out a tune and it's a good tune, but it's not like the most amazing tune you've heard, and they chart, and you're like, wait a second.
Oh, there's a few charts out there that you'd be so surprised at, like the number that makes you chart. It's crazy.
That's really interesting. Okay, well, that's good to know. Maybe like for our fellow DJs that are also producing that are thinking, if I get my name up on that chart, is it going to make or break my career? Am I going to suddenly start playing gigs out?
No, not really. It definitely helps. It is that next step up from when you are a DJ. And it gives you a little more credibility, right? So like say you're DJing for, $50 a show or something like that, and then you start producing, that kind of bumps you up into another range of, you can start charging more, you start getting more legit gigs rather than playing in anybody's basement and stuff like that. So it is the next step up, but the charting thing still drives me crazy.
Yeah, I could see that. And on that, that you're talking about, like getting on those charts and, getting more opportunities. How important do you think it is that DJs, maybe especially in the dance music community, are also making music?
Oh, it's super important for the DJs to get into that, because I look at DJs and be like, playing other people's tunes, and I did it for years too. But when you start producing and taking that next step, it makes people who are throwing the parties look at you again, right? And then, like I said, you get better time spots and you get the more credibility. Your name bumps up in the tiers of DJs.
Yes.
That's also very important. So your name's more prominent, means more people see your name, more people start looking at you, and then that's how you start climbing.
I like it. Yeah, no, that's incredibly important. So you've worked with loads of different individuals throughout the years, making music, throwing parties. How important is that tribe of people that you're working with, their drive, their ambition? Do you feel it has an impact in the success of, your music, their music, collaborations, even just performances?
Oh yeah, for sure. If people can't get on the same level as you, then I hate to say it, but you got to leave them behind. Like if you're sitting there with someone who just wants to play music in a basement, those are cool friends to have, and I don't say like get rid of them, but I mean it's hard to throw a party with someone who doesn't have the drive, or it's hard to like DJ with someone who just wants to play the same old tunes and doesn't want to like move on or experiment or try something new, right? I mean, you got to continuously grow in this industry, otherwise you get left behind, right?
Absolutely. And it sounds like for Emotion, you've got like quite the team of people behind you working on this project. Can you tell me a bit about the inspiration behind Emotion and a bit about the team that you're working with right now?
Yeah, the team is super important. These are all friends of mine from way back in the day. And I mean, there's some new people as well, but the core group with like Adam Dudek and Carrie Hebert and Digiboo and Sean Villian and like just everybody, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these are people I've known for a long time, and they have the same drive. They want this thing to be super successful and just create something amazing for people out in Canada, really. I wasn't going to say Saskatchewan or Manitoba, but we got people from BC that are buying tickets, and even actually some people down in the States. We got some people from Ontario. Like, as soon as I see a ticket come up, I start looking at the names, and I search it on Google or on the Facebook, right? And then I'm like, oh man, that guy's from like Minnesota. Like, oh, people are coming up for that? That's crazy, Yeah. So, but the inspiration from that was, I think it was Connect Festival. We all love Connect Festival, and we knew it was ending. So we had been looking for a venue spot for a festival for about 4 to 5 years anyway. And we didn't really try that hard. We'd find a spot and kind of scope it out and see, hey, this is a cool spot. We should, throw a festival here sometime. But then as soon as we found out that Connect was ending, we're like, okay, we have to throw this. So we need Central Canada needs something beautiful, right? So yeah, and we found something in Manitoba. I mean, we searched Alberta, but it was a little bit harder in Alberta because there's a lot of festivals going on out there. So, and Saskatchewan just didn't have the venue. That's all it was. Couldn't find the right spot. So as soon as we found this one out in St. Laurent, it was like, yes, people are gonna love this place. So, and Yeah. Go on.
I was going to say, like, the videos of that space, the pictures, it is beautiful. I live in Manitoba, and I didn't even realize this place existed. And I'm so excited because as somebody, more central, it takes hours to get to any of these festivals. And yet here you found this beautiful space 45 minutes away from my town. And I mean, like you said, like you've got people coming from like Minnesota, which it's not too terribly far for them either. But obviously the acts that you guys have coming in, the branding behind the music festival, like it does not surprise me that you've got people from coming all over to check this out.
Yeah, we decided to go a little bit bigger. We were going to do a small little fest, but we were just like, you know what? Let's go big and show people this is we want to draw people to it, right? We don't want to take 10 years to build it. We want people in 3 years to be massive, right?
Yes.
Or, something incredible, even though it's going to be incredible first year out. So.
Oh, yeah. Is there anything in particular that you're really looking forward to for this festival?
So in my checklist of venues, and this is super important, is a water source. I mean, you can go to a festival in like a field somewhere and it would be have a good time and stuff. But I feel like the environment you're around, as well as you can bring the people and you can bring the music anywhere, right? But if you have the environment to set that in is the most important to me, because the great people and the great music can follow, but you need that spot. So it's like sandy beaches, water, forested area, there's open fields, there's trails, there's everything you can think of. The only thing we don't have is mountains.
Which,
how many people want to climb a mountain anyway during the music festival? So.
No, the one thing I like about the prairies is that open sky, because a lot of people that are in the mountains, when they come out here, they're like, wow, I can see everything around me. Yeah. So.
And you're not going to get that crazy mountain valley temperature drop either. I mean, I know it'll dip at night, but you don't get that, like, all of a sudden the sun drops behind the mountain and all of a sudden it just becomes ice cold.
Yeah, that's true. So, I did not think about that. I'm looking forward to the morning coffee that you guys will. Oh,
yeah. Food vendors. We'll be announcing some more vendors here pretty quick. So,
Okay, sweet. I'm excited for that. Okay, so we've got a lot of DJs that are watching, so I want to talk about some of the struggles that you've found yourself experiencing in the industry as a DJ, and maybe what you've learned from that, how you've broken through regardless.
I mean, I've learned a lot of lessons from other DJs and myself too, and I was luckily, there's a guy named Aaron Olson, DJ JADJ from back in the day. He taught me a great lesson, is that just don't get a big head about it. As much as you're the man or woman at the time, right? You're like, yeah, I'm rocking it, I'm getting all these awesome gigs and stuff. Just don't take the time, shake the hands. What do I always say? Kiss the baby, shake the hands,
Shake the babies, kiss the hands.
Always make your rounds, give the hugs out, never, I mean, as big as you ever get or whatever, just don't get a big head about it, no matter who you are. You can be playing shows for thousands of people and, take the time to, say hi to the people that want to say hi back. That's my number one thing I took away from, 20 years doing this, is just make the time for your friends. Friends and fans, you got it. Otherwise, you become that guy where it's like, yeah, he's a good DJ, yeah, he produces good music, but he's kind of an ass. You just never want that. So,
and that word goes around.
It does. It travels. And everyone will have a little slip up here and there, but just fix it, right? Like, I'm sure I've slipped up and forgot to, like, high five somebody or something, right? Or said the wrong thing, just like anyone else. But always continue to be a good person in this industry, because not a lot of them anymore.
Well, when you said the thing about, like being humble, no matter how big you get, some of my most favorite DJs and producers I have ever met were humble, down to earth, super chill, ask questions about, other people, as opposed to talking themselves up more. Right. So that's such an excellent point. It kind of staying within that mindset. What advice might you give to people that are really struggling, maybe in that in a negative mindset, like how important is it to have a positive mindset, or driven or ambitious? Or can you be the grumpy DJ that still gets gigs anyways?
You can be the grumpy DJ and still be super talented, but I guarantee, if you're going to be grumpy to me and ask me for everything under the sun, you want your green Skittles separated from your red Skittles, you know, that kind of stuff, you're not going to get booked again from people like me or other promoters that take that into consideration, right? You could be the biggest DJ in the world and draw thousands of people and play amazing music, but if you're, like I said, if you're an ass, I don't care. I'll find somebody else. Yeah. There's always someone. And here's the other lesson: is there's always someone coming up that can replace you. That's a good lesson right there. Is you get that big head, or you think, oh, whatever, I can still get gigs. No. There's some kid out there who's just gonna like blow you away with what he can do, and then the producer or the promoters will be like, oh, I want that kid. He's gonna bring in lots of people and he's gonna rock the crowds. Who am I gonna pick? This kid who's awesome and thanking me for letting him play, or this guy who's, you know, being a dick? Yeah. So,
very good point.
Common sense, for sure.
Well, and sometimes, you know, you will see people in the industry that are not the funnest to work with, but they are still getting the bookings. And sometimes what I've noted, the difference between like why they are getting bookings is not necessarily the talent, but they're lowering their price significantly. So, you know, maybe they're getting away with that kind of behavior because, well, at least he won't cost as much, or she won't cost as much. Yeah,
there's all kinds of factors involved with it. You know, old school names and a draw of people. They might have a great fan base, but I mean, but like I said, if you're a super ass, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I'll replace you for sure.
Yeah. Right on. So good vibe people want to work with other good vibe people.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Are there any, just kind of end this interview off, are there any like additional projects that you're working with or working towards right now? Maybe new music, maybe a new mix?
You know, I've actually slacked on the mixes for a little while. I haven't put one out since last year. That is also important. DJs, please keep up with the mixes. No matter how many projects you got. I've bitten off a little too much over the last year with the festival and a secondary festival and a club night thing in Mexico and record labels and producing and you name it. It's just hard.
Yeah.
So that's the thing there. Like, if you want people to hear your music, just you got to concentrate on the music side of it. If you want to promote good events, concentrate on that, because someone like me who's done a little bit of everything, you can't do it all at once. It's just, it's too much, right? Unless you're just nonstop working at it. I mean, people do have that kind of energy. Me, 20 years in, I got to pick and choose.
Yeah. No, I think that's such a valid point. Like, maybe you're a DJ that's playing consistently and not necessarily putting out material all the time, but people are live streaming it, people are taking videos, like you're constantly finding a way to be out there. And like you said before, pick and choose what's important, right? So you're working on this festival, you know, making a mix would be great, but maybe making a mix.
I've had people asking me for mixes and, hey, can you remix this too? And I'm just like, you know, after the festival, I got 4 remixes and a couple of originals I got to pop out by the end of the year. So I'll be focusing mostly on that. And then in Mexico, there's we have some events happening down there that we got to work on and stuff. So yeah, you gotta, and then I guess it would be festival next year. Start up that by December. So you got to start working on that. Pre-parties, different cities. We're gonna reach out probably down to Minnesota and Thunder Bay and stuff like that for pre-parties next year too. So
right on.
So it'll be busy. It's getting busy.
Yeah, you guys are doing such an excellent job. You're such a wonderful inspiration in our industry right now in Canada. You're doing so much, and you're opening up all these opportunities for other artists and even like workshops and other businesses to work with. So that's that's helping our local community. It's helping us on a larger scale in Canada. And you're obviously getting the word out about what's going on here and even the US, which is so rad, you know, building that community across the border. I love it.
We're going to try and pull hard from there.
I love it.
There's a lot of people down there. You never really realize it, but like in Minnesota alone, there's like 5 million or something like that. And that's like the prairies right there.
Right.
So why wouldn't you try and reach down there, right?
Absolutely. So. I'll have to link you up with some friends out there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you're a busy dude, but I want to thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview with us.
No problem.
And I am so looking forward to Emotion. This is like,
it's going to be awesome.
I've been looking forward all summer to...
Have you seen the stages yet? Have you seen what they look like?
No.
Oh, those are coming out. Oh, wait till you see it. It's going to be crazy.
So make sure you guys go check out Emotion Festival on Facebook and the website. If you want to buy some last minute tickets, you can definitely do that as well. We'll make sure to have the links for you. And I hope everyone is having an amazing festival season, whether you are a hip hop DJ and checking out festivals like the Northern Touch, or whether you are in the realms of electronic dance music and checking out all of those. So until next time, don't let no one kill your vibe.